sweet, dude. This thing's sweet. This thing's badass.
Hey everybody, I've got Bryce and Chris with me, and it's me, Larry, from Haunt World. And we're here in the world famous Darkness Haunted House. And as if you didn't know, we own haunted houses, we build haunted houses, we build escape rooms, attractions, all kinds of stuff. But we're making this video for our channel to show you how to take something you buy from Home Depot and make it really cool. And I would not buy anything. Would we buy anything at Home Depot, put it in the haunted house? No, we would not. The animations and things like this that we put in the haunted house cost tens of thousands of dollars. The scenes and sets that we make take, weeks and months to do. But home haunting is huge. So we're gonna show you how to really differentiate yourself from your next door neighbor who bought the same exact prop. We're gonna look at the materials, and we're gonna do a couple of these videos, but you see we bought the giant size Inferno skeleton. Now, this is cool. I'm not saying it's not cool, but it's not like professional haunted house quality cool. What are we gonna try to make it look like?
Go for your evil scarecrow.
An evil scarecrow. We bought this thing at Home Depot, and most of the materials are coming from Home Depot. There we go. So tell us what we got, what we need, and by the way, it's not very expensive, the materials.
No, we've got some latex house paint here. We've actually got a bucket of casting latex. Got some chip brushes. We've actually got real Spanish moss. Got some random creepy fabric, burlap. And we've also got some camo net and some scissors. Creepy cloth.
He's got some buckets. And let's explain a little bit about some of the materials we're using, like these. What do we use these for?
We'll be washing the skeleton. We'll get latex and we use that to color.
And you need multiple ones because you don't want to like spray something with one color, right? And then like dump it out and make another color. You got to have, for every color you're going to use, and one's just going to be just water, but you want to have all your colors in place so you can spray, and spray again.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think we're ready to go. And by the way, the latex we're using from a company called Monster Makers, but you can go to pretty much any costume store and they have latex. You don't need a whole lot to do this project. When we're done, will we put this in the haunted house?
Will we?
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But we are doing a jack-o'-lantern festival at Creepy World, so maybe this can go there. All right. So we're opening this bad boy up. And one of the things that I noticed right away, this is just me, it looks very fake. And we're gonna try to change that, right?
You have to cue the time lapse. It's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, and with the magic of time lapse, it will be put together and then we'll show you the next step. Wow, that really does look plastic and fake. You know what it's reminding me of is Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey, and make sure you like and subscribe to our page because we are going to be uploading more videos showing you how to make something that looks this ridiculously fake. And I know a lot of home haunter type people are like, are you crazy? That looks awesome. Well, yeah, maybe for a home haunt it really does, but when we get done, you're gonna like really love this, all right? So we've got the body up, and yes, he's very, very, very tall. And once again, for $300 or $400, whatever you pay for this thing, I mean, it's really cool. This is not something, you could not buy something like this from a haunted house designer for $400. So yes, it is very cool, but again, it looks very fake. So what's the next step here?
Well, we gotta mix up some paint, get the head on top of the body, and we start painting.
Make sure we get all the moisture mixed in, and the next what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this in a separate pail. We're gonna actually dye the latex. We're gonna use some of these browns, a couple of green colors, give it like an earthy, kind of nasty, rotted root.
And right now you're stirring the latex to get all the air bubbles and everything.
Make sure all that liquid is mixed in properly before we start applying this.
So one of the things that's really important when you're doing like these kind of renovation type projects is to have a lot of buckets, right?
So many buckets for everything. Mixing, cleaning, storage sometimes.
And what color are we going to use here?
This one we're gonna go like a moss kind of greenish color.
And we're just gonna pour that right into the latex.
Yes.
And we want to make sure we're using latex-based paint too, correct?
Exactly. So this thing will keep flexing and it'll be able to have some movement.
And now you're adding some black.
There you go. It's like cooking. Do it by feel. Let's darken this up a little bit for us.
Oh, now it's getting really dark. So this is a mixture of latex and paint.
Yes. Latex paint, we have a little bit of distilled water in there. Next, we'll start actually taking pieces of camo net, a little bit of creepy cloth, dip it in here, bring it out. We're actually going to start skinning the big creature. If I actually look, kind of real roots and vines intertwined and twisted. We may do 3 different shades, something like that. Start really dark and then slowly lighten it up as we build up layers.
So we need 3 buckets at least.
Possibly, we'll see. I know if we'll need 3 for just latex. The other one we may put in spray bottles.
Painting over the existing paint job on the pumpkin head.
And the purpose of that is?
We want it to look better, more realistic. It's too plastic. We'll do a shade of this orange. We'll do a wash of black and green, and then a burlap hood.
I see you're cutting some
Camo net. So what we're going to do is we're cutting a couple of strips of these. We're going to dip it into our little paint and latex mixture. That way we can start layering pieces over this guy, hiding all these ugly little plastic seams. Give him some more realistic, like grass and moss hanging off of this guy.
We are cutting burlap to make him a little scarecrow shroud hood outfit thing, custom made. What are they called, Chris? What, Wagyu denim? We got Wagyu denim.
Oh, that's a problem.
Authentic Wagyu burlap. Threw over some burlap to make his little outfit. Now we're just distressing it with a razor blade. You don't want a fresh outfit. A giant spooky skeleton, inferno pumpkin. Just taking the razor blade, cutting it, see through it, see the layers, see the rib cage.
So we're gonna take some of this camo net kind of stuff that we bought right on Amazon.com. Very simple. We're gonna dip it down into this nasty, nasty
And we're gonna throw it on the camera.
latex.
We're going to drape it over the burlap and his arms for
Yeah.
a little texture.
Look at that. One side is already done.
Starting.
And immediately it looks 10 times better.
And what are we gonna do to keep that in place so it doesn't fall off?
We're gonna do a little glue. We're gonna do a little pinning action, some push pins.
And zip ties always work.
And the latex will also help adhere it to the plastic.
Are we gonna dabble a little bit on top?
Yeah.
We're making sure that we do 360 around this thing. We don't want it to look good just from the front.
We're trying to flex.
He's already starting to look completely different. I think you ought to cut a hole in it and throw it over his neck. He's got a really nasty looking neck. Now we're doing another really cool thing. Chris, why don't you explain what you're doing?
All right, next we've got some burlap straps here that we've just cut down, dipping them into our paint and latex mixture again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna beef up these fingers. See that? That looks bad. It's plastic, it's cheap. We're gonna go for this nasty little root kind of vine. Make those fingers even longer, give them some gross little pointy fingernails.
All right, let's see how you apply that.
We're just going in all the way down the finger, and then we'll just carefully start wrapping this around, making sure that latex gets all the way through the burlap down to the plastic, so that way as it dries, it'll bond and stay in place. This little end piece here, we just wrap that, twist it to a point. And you want to pull some of these little loose strands of burlap out just to give it some cool frayed ends as it dries.
Chris just finished this hand right here, which looks really amazing. He's finishing the next one.
We're spray painting it black so we can get all the depth on top of the dry brushing we're going to do. The dry brushing will bring out all the textures from the sculpted vines, and then Chris and I are going to go back with some burlap like we're doing on the hands and wrap it around the legs. So this will just make it not all one solid poo-poo green color.
All right, Bryce, so you've painted it all black, and now what are you doing?
We're dry brushing it with a light dusty brown color. Just a quick little technique to bring out the textures.
All the dry brushing is done for the first color. Now we're gonna add a second color and just highlight the vines with like a vinish color.
We got a dirty green color. We're just going over the raised vines and keeping the gray or the brown and the black in the lower areas.
You guys giving them some leg pads?
And we're trying to seam up all these little gaps. We're going to eventually blend all this stuff in so you won't see these little connection points anymore. So next we just got to start blending all of that down so that way it's a cohesive look all the way through.
I think we got to do something with that head that's just orange.
Oh, that's good to go. No. Now we're going to take some of this little scrap fabric here. We're going to give this guy some tattered pants. It also allows us to kind of hide some of this plastic on these legs. We're going to cut it open, expose it, have more moss and burlap hanging out.
Like that has been done to this leg. And this is what it looks like before it gets painted. And you know, this is kind of cool because it looks like maybe that's his knee joint because he's like a scarecrow. So we're gonna go ahead and attach the blue fabric to the other side, get both sides identical, and then we're gonna paint it.
We're hanging the strips of burlap you saw earlier in the video we were cutting. We now have a hole, dipping them in latex, just layering it. Moss and the raw burlap just to add a little something to it.
Well, he's really coming together. When you're theming something, it doesn't really end with this. I mean, look at that hideous stand. You know, you really could go get a bale of hay and throw it all in there and then splatter blood all in there, maybe a couple severed heads even. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. But the theming don't stop with just the character. I'm getting concerned about this this head over here. We're gonna have to do something cool to that. We're gonna move to the last step, which is dry brush the head. What are we doing to it here?
Dry brushing that's black.
And we please pardon us for the fan noise. It's very humid here today. We have a fan going in the background.
Just gonna hit the whole thing. Buff it out a little bit. Just helps dull it down a little bit. Breaks up the harshness of the brush.
We're trying to get rid of the plastic look.
So far it's not working. So we're doing good.
So far it's not working. He's got these really cool LCD screen type eyes or something.
It really brings up the Home Depot.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin those. Now you're just like basically wiping off
all the excess.
and we need to make sure we wipe off them eyes.
Everything in the cracks and crevices stays dark. Everything on the top stays nice. That helps the plastic look. Everywhere where the water didn't get. You can't tell me that doesn't look worlds better. You gotta get the Kirshner seal of approval.
But you think we should put like a hood on him?
Of course.
Now we're just finishing up these pants. We're coming in, getting a nice little mixture of some paint and latex to give this guy a muddy, gross, distressed costume. We got a little Spanish moss sticking out in the leg joints here.
And I see you've really Spanish mossed up his feet.
Yeah, we're still working on hiding these things just because they look kind of awkward. So when he's all said and done, we'll completely have his base covered in it. Next, we're going to do is, we've done all this work to the body, so we got to incorporate some of that to the face. We made these little twisted, root, kind of thick stitches. We're going to start kind of zigzagging these across the mouth, just again so the head gets a little attention too, and it all blend in and look cohesive.
And how are you getting it to stick on there?
Well, we've got some trusty Super 90 spray here that I'm trying not to drop.
That we got at Home Depot. Most of the stuff that was used to create this new version of this character was purchased at Home Depot, except for the cloth, obviously. But everything else, including the pumpkin itself, was bought right at Home Depot.
Got that finished. Now we're just going in with some distressing, getting this burlap nice and dirty and grungy, blending the same thing all the way through the head.
And what do you got in there? White paint?
We got fine H2O. Straight from the St. Louis sewers.
So you're saying you're spraying just water?
Yeah, fine H2O.
And what would be the point of just rinsing it in water?
Drenching it in water so the paint soaks it up. We're going in with a little brown right now. Just dirty up the burlap. We go in with some black. Well.
And here comes some black. And look at his face. Let's take a quick look at that. It really made a difference to add those little vines to his mouth. And now he's just getting hit all over the place with paint. And then you got one person throwing black and then one person following it up with some water to a little wash it down. We went from this guy right here to this wonderful creation here. How long did it take to do it, Chris?
I'd probably say maybe 3.5 hours, give or take. Just
3.5?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the skeleton?
Oh, I can't wait.
What do you think we should do to the skeleton?
Let's turn him to a zombie.
There
It's
you
gotta
go.
be a zombie.
All
Gotta
right.
be a zombie.
So we're gonna have to find one,
Yeah, that's the problem.
and then
The
we'll.
problem. We thought we were buying one today, and we ended up with this.
Yeah, that's the funny part, folks. I sent him. I said, "Hey, here's somebody who has the 12-foot." I didn't know there was a 12-foot pumpkin, but there he is.
I think probably one of the coolest things that we did were these finger extensions, where we took some of that latex and paint and a little burlap, wrapped all those up so now they don't look all plastic and cheap. One of the things, if we had the time, we would have loved to have actually incorporated maybe some cheesecloth with actual pumpkin seeds, like around the rib cage and the mouth, just for a cool little, added texture.
Yep. And Bryce, what do you think? What are your favorite takeaways here?
This thing's sweet, dude. This thing's sweet. This thing's badass.
Okay, so Bryce, I guess, loves the whole thing. One of the things that I would say is whenever you're theming, for your home haunt, make sure you have good lighting and fog and of course sound would really help. But look at that. All right, folks, there you go. There's taking something from Home Depot that we paid $299 for, and we made it into this. And you can see it a lot better, and we're gonna show you without the lights on. Make sure you like and subscribe to our page because we got some more cool videos. We're gonna do the skeleton next. We're gonna make him into a zombie. So there you have it, a bunch of parts from and materials from Home Depot. This $299 skeleton, pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, whatever he is. But now look at him. Let's take a look at him. Look at his fingers. Look how cool they are. You know, I have to say that even in the haunted house industry, I've never seen really anyone, or maybe someone has, these chests. It is really cool, especially his mouth. And look how cool he is now. He had a little fog machine. Nice little dead body. And look at that. You've gone from fake and plastic to something that looks like you spent tens of thousands of dollars. And leave us a comment in the comments below and a like, and tell us what you think of it. And would you like to see us renovate something else? Put it in the comments, tell us where to get it. We'll renovate it, we'll redo it, and we'll show you how we did it. Until then, happy Halloween.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, huntworld.com.